Backyard Professor Chess videos. I hope you're enjoying some of that scenery from the western side of the Idaho state. I had to run over to Mountain Home and get my parents, and their van broke down, and so I thought I'd take some good video of some of the rest of this country that I don't normally get to, so that was kind of cool. Hey, I've got an announcement to make real quick before I continue on the King's Indian defense. My good friend Paul Powell's book, 60 More Memorable Games of Bobby Fischer. He's a chess master that has an online newsletter. It's free. Just look him up, Paul Powell. This is an outstanding book. It's a master's analysis and annotation of 60 other games of Bobby Fischer that aren't in his book, The 60 Memorable Games. And I just got my copy of that, and I'm thrilled to have that. Paul's a really nice guy. These are outstanding Bobby Fischer games. A lot of Sicilian defense games in it. Quite a few Ruy Lopez's. And it gives good background history knowledge of his competitors and who they were and how strong they were and all that. Good stuff. Down to earth, excellent explanations. Not really. He's got some fabulous variation analysis too, but it's not too deep. It gives us amateurs a chance to understand the grandmasters, and that's the point, right? I mean, I know some of those games are complicated. Now, in this King Indian defense, the next two videos that I'm going to show are by one of my very most favorite grandmasters, David Bronstein. He's probably not as well known as he should be because he never became a world champion. He missed it by just one game. He had a very tumultuous life. His father spent 7 years in the Gulag Archipelago, and it just ruined him, and a lot of emotion, a lot of problems, but these two games on the King's Indian defense, what Bronstein does, now, and I haven't looked at all the games. I've been going through several games so that I could find some good ones for you videos, for the videos, right? Well, in these two, he really does a fascinating thing. He loses the exchange on purpose to completely collapse White's position. And it just destroys his opponent, and he ends up winning. I haven't seen, of course, and I haven't seen a lot of King Indian defense either, but I haven't seen this particular strategy by White. And so perhaps Bronstein is the reason. See, these next two games, I'm going to show you this, if nothing else, to give us the flavor of the great complexity, of the wonderful variety of the King's Indian defense. The more I look into this baby, the more impressed I am. And by the way, I better move back so you can see my lovely face. I am loving playing you guys on chess.com. That is so fun. Hey, remember, chess.com is like our own worldwide chess club. I mean, don't take the rating so serious. Don't take it serious if you get whipped one day, because you're going to whip me the next day, you know. And those of you who keep challenging me, I mean, I think I've got like 18 ongoing games right now. I can't keep up with it. I'll get to you. Don't think I'm stuffy and full of myself and I'm little Mr. Goody Two-Shoes and I'm too good for you. No, it's not like that at all. I only have so much time in the day. I have to play the 3 moves per, or one move per 3 days though, because there are a couple times there's been that I haven't been able to get back to the chessboard on time, right? And I know that's not the best way to play chess, but man, we can work on the chat. I've got several of you who were just trouncing me, and then you come back in the chat and tell me what I'm doing wrong, and we analyze the games together and all that. Man, I love that. This is like a chess brotherhood online, man. It's great. Chess.com, come and get me, man. I'll play you. I'm no good, but hey, it's fun. We're all in this learning together, right? Okay, let me get into this King's Indian defense. Bronstein is the black, of course. Queen pawn opening, of course. Knight f6. And then he does the c4, and he's coming at him hard and furious, and he does the d6. This is the King Indian defense. Knight c3. Oh, Ludek Pachman is his opponent, a very strong Czechoslovakian grandmaster. And Bronstein does a great job here of showing how the King's Indian as the black pieces is a tremendous opening. There's umpteen thousands of games played with the King Indian. I mean, you can't exhaust this, but this would be a good one for us to use for the first few years of our chess careers so that we can at least get our rating up to 1900 or whatever. I think after you get to 2000, you got to broaden yourself. But right now, really all you need is 3 chess openings. 1 is white and 2 is black. 1 for the king pawn opening and 1 for the queen pawn opening as the black pieces, right? And then just master those. That's Paul Powell. Again, my friend, my master teacher, Paul Powell, talks about that in several of his books. He's got some wonderful Kindle books for 99 cents. I mean, you can't beat it. And no, he's not paying me to advertise him. I'm doing that because I like the guy. Okay, G3, G6. We're going to get ready to fianchetto the bishops and have these long, wonderful diagonals. And you notice there's a lot of gunk and clutter right now in the center. So these are more or less moves for the future. At this point, they don't have, you notice that there's not, there's not an overwhelming immediate presence of pieces in the center. This is the theme of the King's Indian. Possess it with pawns, put pressure on the center. You notice they're not swapping pawns immediately either. They just want the pawn presence there, and then they'll arrange all their pieces behind everything and get them all set up so that they can go attack the weak square or the backward pawn or whatever. It really gets tense. So this is from a distance, and it's a setup looking to the future. And of course, they both castle. Everybody loves to castle in chess. I don't care who you are. That's a correct statement right there. I don't care who you are. B3. Now, Pachman seems to be like he wants to fianchetto both bishops, right? Bronstein's going to put the rook on the 8 here. Now, and I've seen this in King's Indian setups too. They're not doing it in specific order. Again, I've said this before, but Bronstein, this E5 push is honestly typical in King's Indian. Bronstein was one of the grandmasters that pushed it fairly early on. I've seen it put off a few times, but I've also seen this setup with the 3 strong central pawns on white also in the King's Indian. It's really kind of, I mean, what they're saying is we want to control the center. And now Bronstein takes the pawn. So he's already kind of mixing it up, changing some things around. A knight will take that pawn, of course. Not the queen. Not the queen. No. Do the knight. And I'm sorry about messing up that Bobby Fischer video because I was wearing a tux and it caused me to have bad luck. God, I like to try to show you some variations to make these videos worth watching and instructional. I mean, it's not because of the boob idiot telling you about this stuff, but the information itself, right? I'm just a sidelight entertainment. This is the stuff you're here for. So I'm sorry I messed that game up. I'll redo it again if I have to. It's a good Fischer game. But thanks for keeping a sharp eye. I'll try hard not to do that too often. But no, in this instance, I mean, had he taken it with the queen, there's too many problems that can arise. No, don't do it with the queen. He did it with the knight. And Pachman was vastly superior to us in intellect and chess-intellectual. He was a chess-intellectual. Hey, I just invented a new word. Come on, work with me on this. Chess-intellectual. That's what I want to be. I want to be a chess-intellectual. Okay. Knight to C5. Now we're kind of ramping it up. And they're hitting some places here. Bronstein wants to make sure that he gets queenside play here. Pachman is going to take that, of course. And Bronstein's preparing to push the A and the B pawns. And Pachman's going to swing over here to a very dandy kingside, he's hoping. And I think part of the reason Bronstein wants to really make sure he's emphasizing the queenside is because of how Pachman put this together and how his position held together and how Bronstein undermined it was utterly genius. It was tremendous. Now you can see Bronstein's going all the way for the queenside and he's doing it very fast. He's getting his start. He's got a plan. He's sticking with it. He's going through before Pac-Man can really get a kingside going here. So Pac-Man's attention is going to have to be paid on the queen side, right? Rook c1. He's trying to hold things together. c6 is going to come up, and of course that's going to allow Bronstein to push the d-pawn. Bronstein is really kind of taking the wind out of Pac-Man's sails by being so speedy on the queen side of this particular game. So pay attention to that. I mean, one very big, powerful point about the King Indian defense is this speedy queenside attack that Bronstein does. Not only in this game, but in the next game of his I'll show you, because he uses the same strategy on two different opponents to completely destroy their position. And it's utterly fascinating to see how he does this. Bishop drops down to a1. And you go, holy shish kebab, dude. That is the worst square for a bishop. Wait, just hold on. Be patient, grasshopper. This bishop is not weak. It exerts magnificent support through the center with those knights, doesn't it? That's the linchpin. That's the foundation of Pac-Man's entire position, that bishop. That's what Bronstein goes after. Beautiful how he does this. A takes b3. One step at a time, honey. I should be more serious. I really should. I should be somber and sober and intellectual and quiet and soft. But hey, it's me, the backyard professor. I can't be that way. I'm sorry. Yeah, it kills my image and, you know, all that jazz, but I love chess and I'm having fun, and that's just all there is to it. So just live with it or turn the video off, because I'm not going to change. Okay, now notice, again, queen b6. Now this really is a full flare-up. I mean, Bronstein is just going at it. Now, this is the... yeah, we're getting close here. He starts building it up. I'm going to zippity-doo-dah here because I want to explain this. And then knight f to d7. Again, looks like a shift away. Now, Bronstein hasn't left his king denuded. He's got that powerful bishop there, right? And that's nice. That's very nice, actually. Rook b1. Now, Pac-Man's not going to just give Bronstein the queenside without a fight. Of course not. And knight comes to f8. And king goes to h2. And, see, Bronstein's even coming... You know, I've noticed that in the Grandmaster games, you guys. And again, this is the value of going through the Grandmaster games so that we weaklings can get just a little bit stronger, hopefully, as the years go by, as we continue practicing, studying, and learning, and beating each other up on chess.com. Bronstein's been over here, and he's putting 2 and 2 together and coming up with 4 on the queen side. And now all of a sudden he switches over here, and he starts coming on the king side. This is what Grandmasters do, man. They play all areas of the board. It's fascinating to see. You know, there's only so much each piece can do and how much you can stretch and all, but they seem to manage really good. That's kind of a cool little insight that we mere rookie wannabes want to pay attention to. Rook's going to come to e2 now. It's not the first rank that's in danger, it's the second one. And his notes explain that a little bit. Look at this. Bronstein is merciless. Now he's coming down here on the 8 side after him. This is really interesting how this works. Now he's going to bring the rook to d2. He's going to hit the... he's going to put the knight wherever the knight goes. And he's going to have a really strong central file. Really, truly. And that's nice. See, the weakness, Bronstein's weakness, is this pawn here. And you know, you say, well, hey, the queen's in front of it. That's not what makes it weak. It's backward, more or less. But in a way, it's not backward because it can move forward. So, but that might be a target. And he's got, you know, it's getting pressure. It's building up. And now here's what Bronstein does to completely destroy Pac-Man's position. He sacrifices the exchange by taking that bishop. Pow! That's one. right on the kisser, man. Because the bishop gave those knights their centralized power. And without that bishop, those knights are targets now. And this is so beautiful how this does this. Of course, Pac-Man's not going to let him get away with that. He's going to take the rook. So Bronstein's down the exchange, but now he's got the power. He's got the position, and immediately, of course, bishop is now going to take the d4. This is kind of this fianchetto bishop, this long, powerful diagonal. This is what Pac-Man was trying to support, but it doesn't work. And as we play through this, we'll see this. It just doesn't hold. He's trying so hard now to hold as well as he can, and it just collapses. Knight, look at that fork. Look at that beautiful rook fork. he's just clobbering him, man. Takes a powerful pawn down here. The backward weak pawn, notice. He's targeting the weakness, which is what the grandmasters do, and he's got a beautiful rook fork. I mean, man, it doesn't get better than that. Well, Pac-Man, though, is not, it's not like he's getting mopped up, but he's not falling behind. He's still up the exchange, but his position, you can just see it sort of dissipate, can't you? It's just so phenomenal how Bronstein did this. And now queen takes f2. And he just picks it completely apart. Rook a2. Now his 7th rank is getting weaker and weaker and weaker. His 8th rank, the rooks are off the 8th rank, and Bronstein's going to come at him. It's really quite fascinating how this works. Rook takes g3, check. You notice just step by step, because he undermined the anchor, the basis of the support of the center. Now he's able to come after the king. Isn't that an interesting connection? We'll study this more in the next game of Bronstein's also for this. There's a very good tie-ins, just kind of some of that good chess knowledge that you do want to know, right? King h1. The more you know, the better we'll all get eventually and be able to play, right? That's correct. Don't argue with me. Queen takes c3. You can just see Pac-Man just, it's dissipated. Isn't that fascinating? It just, like steam, it just evaporated. And with that, Pac-Man falls apart with that evaporation. Queen takes c3, and now rook goes to a3. You got to pin the knight. Pin the knight! Do something, dude. Rook a3. Let's make sure I'm doing this right. And now bishop takes h3. Bing, bada, boom. Just one piece at a time. Bronstein is just picking his bones clean. It's just so phenomenal how this happens. Rook takes b3. Now, of course, he can hit this b7 also, but he's threatening the queen. It's the queen he's after, because the combination with the rook, the queen, and the bishop coming out, he really does not want that there. And, of course, bishop takes g2 check. And, of course, king takes the g2 uncheck. I'm sure they didn't say that. That's me being an idiot. And now queen takes c4. It just evaporates. I think that is so fascinating to see that, because he lost the exchange. Now, see, you know, I'm material-minded too, man. I'm not exempt from this. It's everything I can do to lose the exchange. You know, a bishop is less than a rook. I want to keep my rooks. In this case, the position was much more important for him to undermine, lose the exchange, and now look, he's just evaporating. This is just so fascinating how he literally, really just evaporates. Rook d4, and now queen e6. And now rook takes b7. Finally, he got that poor little weak pawn square down there. And rook comes over here to a8. You can see it's a rook and queen game. Now you notice Bronstein is down the exchange, but the position is too strong. And he'll show you that here in just a minute. Queen e2, and then he goes h3 check. And that's where white resigned. At one time, we saw the magnificent rock of a center for white. Bronstein came down and pew, cut his feet right out from under him, taking that bishop, and it just basically evaporated. And now he's got the deal going. And you know, check, you can't take it. So you move over here, and then Bronstein goes like this. And you've lost your queen. The guy was a genius, man. The way he set that up, that was beautiful. So, there's your chess exercise. Thanks for watching my silly videos. I get a lot out of making these. That's why I keep making them. They're a lot of fun. Chess openings are a blast to learn and study. I'm sure enjoying meeting all you guys on chess.com. I'm trying to think of any other words of wisdom I can tell you other than don't eat too much popcorn. And don't tell your wife I told you to use the popcorn. You know, sneak in a bowl of fresh cherries or something healthy, or a granola bar or something. Because I don't want to get in trouble with your wives. I'm already in trouble with mine for teaching you guys bad, healthy eating habits. Anyway, all right, enough goofing off, man. This is serious crap. We have got some chess to learn. So, work hard, study well, be good, have fun, keep learning. Quit using all this information I'm giving you against me, all right? You're whipping my butt on chess.com, and it's humiliating. It is humiliating, I tell you. However, that's the best way to learn. Thanks, you guys, and I will see you in the next video.